So the seasons are changing and it's time to protect your eyes. So I've got 5 tips today on how to best protect your eyes between the seasons. Hi, my name's Alya and I'm so glad you stopped by. So I hope you can stick around to find out more. As you can obviously tell, I'm already wearing a little bit of makeup today. So today was Dad's 70th birthday, so I just put a little bit of makeup on, not terribly much, just to go and have some dinner with them. And that was pretty much it. So I sometimes do find myself in the situation where after work or after a quick run somewhere, I do want to do something a little bit more special with my makeup. And just a bit of eyeliner is just not going to cut it for me to feel like I've done something special for the occasion. For example, going from day to night, or going from work to something after work, or perhaps, you know, some sort of appearance, or I don't know. Things sometimes just come up in life. So I'm just going to show you how to go from pretty much this to this without actually removing any of your makeup. But of course, as the introduction to this video suggested, I've got here my top 5 tips of what we need to do to protect not just our eyes, but just generally our well-being, especially when the weather's going a little bit crazy and things are just not easy to adjust to. Melbourne is well known for having 4 seasons in a day, but it's not really 4 whole seasons. It kind of goes 5 minutes sunshine, but still Arctic winds, and then 5 minutes pouring rain and depressive grey skies. That's the kind of changes we really go through, and really it's just so extreme. We can literally have bright, beautiful skies and rain at the same time. Meanwhile, it's freezing. It looks like it's 30 degrees outside Celsius, but actually it's 10. You know, and this is just a normal autumn's day for Melbourne. So the way I tell my patients to kind of cope with it is by making some very small, tiny adjustments in their lives to enrich their chances of coping, or their body's chances of coping. So the first thing we're going to do is eyebrows, because the biggest deal for me is a statement brow, so something that looks really looked after, really thought of, and there's something that's neglected. So normally to work, I'm not going to do my brows intentionally for work. There's no time for that. But if I've got something special going on, I've got the time to do it, I'll definitely be doing just a very, very sort of, I call it the lazy man's brow. So without eyebrow shadows or gels, I don't have eyebrows at all. They tend to disappear on flash photography because they're quite sparse. So what I do is, aside from the fact that I make sure that they're always nice and neat as much as I can help it, so that there's a concentration of hair in the right places, I also just use a very fluffy but angled brush like this, and I just get a very, very natural filler for them. I use the Multitasker by Savvy Minerals because it's got absolutely zero nasties in it, and it's a very versatile product, as the name suggests. And all I do is I just feather in very light dips of the product until basically there's an eyebrow there. So you can see the after and the before. So this is still a decent enough brow, but you know, it's not the 90s anymore, and we all like a brow now. Plus it adds so much character to the face, adds so much expression and color and fullness and all that sort of good thing. So keep working on these. So my number 1 tip is omega-3s. Now, you would have heard omega-3s. There's a lot of ads through different foods encouraging you to eat omega-3s for various reasons. You can take omega-3s for sure. That's definitely an option. Omega-3 is actually really readily found in foods. Very easy to come by. It's in nuts, it's in oils, it's in fish, especially oily fish, things like trout and sardines, salmon. It's in flaxseed in a very high concentration, but seeds in general are really good, but especially seed oils, again, just to increase the concentration. Avocados is another really good omega-3 rich source, that sort of thing. So if you are someone who likes to consume a lot of that type of food, then obviously you won't need supplementation at all. Supplements are simply that, supplements. It's only if you don't feel like you're having the food naturally, then you would want to take it in a pill form. I'm a huge fan of flaxseed oil capsules because they're the genuine flaxseed oil. It's the same stuff you would put on your salad or your porridge, but it's in a capsule, which is just convenient, and the taste isn't for everyone. So it's just a nice little vegan, often organic, often ethically sourced version of the omega-3 in a concentrated form. So it's a really good thing. Now, why do our eyes need omega-3? Well, it's the main oil, just like a car needs oil, our bodies need some oiliness to keep things kind of smooth. It's really great for a million things, but why I really love it is because it does definitely help with the dryness in the eye. It encourages the tear film to stay in the eye longer and not evaporate so quickly. The next thing that I think is extremely, extremely important is sun protection. If you're not someone who is already constantly wearing eyewear, so someone who's wearing full-time prescription, then I really highly recommend that you get yourself a pair of good quality sunglasses. They don't have to be branded, they don't have to be expensive, they just have to be a good quality pair, which means that the lens itself has been, graded somehow, or is from a reputable seller. The other thing I really like is a pair that sits really well on the eyes, so you should go from the cheekbone without cutting in to the eyebrow, again, without sort of looking like you're wearing shields or something. It doesn't need to look ridiculous, it just needs to be really great for not just sun protection from all angles, but also wind protection. And it's important to have a sunglass pair that you can wear in the winter time or in the dull weather, as well as bright weather. Because it makes sense to wear sunglasses or dark glasses when it's sunny out. That makes perfect sense. But no one really thinks about wearing sunglasses when it's just a bright, overcast day. Because most people won't need it from a glare point of view. But oftentimes the UV, even though the atmospheric UV might be quite low, if it's a particularly wet day or a particularly overcast day, the reflective UV, it's almost like standing in the water at the beach. You know how you can get burned so much quicker in the surf than what you can on dry land? It's the same kind of concept here with the eyes. So you just got to be aware of that, but plus it'll probably be quite a windy day. So if you could also have a pair of glasses, again, they don't have to be super special or dear or anything like that, just a regular schmegular pair that you like, that you're comfortable with, that you can see well in, that isn't too dark if that's your concern for the overcast weather, something perhaps in a light beigey kind of lens or a yellowy kind of lens or a purpley kind of lens. There are so many options out there. The colors are endless and also the categories are endless. So as far as we have it here in Australia, there are 4 categories of sun lenses, which is super exciting and super convenient because you don't have to always wear a very dark lens. That's not the point here. Category 1 is a practically transparent lens. It's like 20% transparency, and you can definitely wear that in overcast weather without any problem to see. It's barely got any color on it at all. It's often like a yellowy hue or a pinky hue, but it does really great for people who do a lot of driving, like to wear that sort of sunglass, or people who have to work outdoors a lot. They go from all the way to sort of almost clear to just a very light tint. A lot of sporting stores will have stuff like that because you do need to provide for all kinds of weather conditions for various outdoor activities, outdoor sports, and that's where you'll probably find it most commonly, but sometimes you'll find it in fashion stores too. I have definitely seen quite a few around. I wouldn't encourage people to wear anything too colourful because colourful lenses do distort the way we see light or the way we see colours. So it can be a little bit dangerous for especially driving or something that requires you to have good colour vision, or at least the colour vision that you're used to having. So just be careful with that one. But as long as you're comfortable and you can see well, I'm good with that. Then of course there's category 2, category 3, which is quite dark, and category 4 is usually reserved for polarized glasses, which might be a little bit lighter, ironically, but they do take away a lot of the horizontal light, making less light actually penetrate through the lens and therefore the category higher. So you really got to try these things on before you buy them because everyone's different. Not everybody loves a polarized lens. I do. I think they're fantastic. But not everyone enjoys the clarity. There's almost like too much clarity for some people. And that's totally understandable. So if you're not a big fan of polarized, that's fine. I would still encourage you to get something nice and dark so that you can have a nice sun protection, and also then get a second pair that's for those overcast days where whatever's comfortable for you is fine by me. Of course, if you already wear clear glasses, then you'll be covered for most of those things. I would encourage most people that have clear glasses to have either transitions in their glasses or a second dark pair for those particularly strong days, but that's up to the individual, and obviously budgets are going to play a big role in that. Probiotics, prebiotics, roughage, and whole grains are so important for the eye's health. I know it sounds really ridiculous, but we've long known that the gut is our second brain. Not only is it just our engine room, but it's also the body's supermarket, meaning all the nutrients we have all around the body, everything that we go to use, every support nutrient that any part of our body requires, it has to go shopping in the gut. That's where it all sort of starts. The eyes are made out of connective tissue, metabolic, vascular, nervous, so basically a little bit of everything. All of these cells need support with the right nutrition in order to function absolutely properly. Without generally good health, eventually the eyes become affected too. Now, before, routine blood tests were a thing where GPs would just go, yep, family history, let's check this, or you're due for a, thyroid screening or blood sugar test fairly routinely like they do these days, especially in countries where your insurance or Medicare or whatever will pay for it. They've made it pretty routine to do these things. Before that, it used to be the ophthalmologist that would find a lot of these concerns around the body, especially things like diabetes or high blood pressure or cholesterol. And still to this very day, we're finding things that the GP had no idea they were even looking for, especially things like thyroid dysfunction. We're by far the first to find it, unless there's a family history or some sort of other signs or indication. It's not until we look inside the eye or do certain basic tests, completely non-invasive tests in the ophthalmic clinic, till we learn about any of this stuff. So, especially things that are really surprising are rheumatoid diseases. So a lot of the time the eye will be the first organ or first visible organ to show any signs. Some people never even knew that they had rheumatoid issues until the eye flared up. It's just how it is sometimes. Some people are just lucky enough not to, be bothered by their symptoms. And they go on living their life until such a day when their eyes become involved. Another really big one is water. Now, water is huge, not just for drinking, but also for washing or compressing or flushing or rinsing the eyes. Water, water, water. We have to keep up our hydration. It's so important for the entire body. Dehydration means that even though the eye is such a small consumer of water, it's a constant consumer. So dehydration will definitely also affect the eyes. It'll cause them to fatigue more quickly, dry out, all the things. We definitely want the skin around the eyes to be healthy too, so it can perform its protective function. It's sort of a chain reaction. Again, I just mentioned that every kind of cell exists within the eye, so it's so important to make sure that everything is really hydrated. The maintenance means that because the eye has so many different layers of protection, chances are that the symptoms, if your eye is otherwise healthy, won't be so obvious, but underneath the eye is still suffering. So it is important to keep up hydration so everything can perform its normal function and continue to remain healthy going forward. Last but not least is fatigue. It can be especially difficult to keep up good sleep hygiene transseasonally. The eyes never stop regenerating, recovering, regrowing, replacing different cells, different processes. The back of the eye, the rods and cones, are the most metabolic cells of the entire body. So we need to have good energy so that all these things can do their job properly and efficiently. And, sleep hygiene is such an underrated thing. Good sleep hygiene is linked to healthy heart, healthy mind, so, mental health, but also, of course, healthy eyes, healthy brain. Every single thing that we have to reproduce, whether it be the chemicals and neurotransmitters, things like serotonin for good mental health, whether it's just our body feeling good and recuperating and having the chance to recover and regenerate for a new day, to face a new day, all the way to whether the eyes have had a chance to really rebuild those cells. 1 or 2 nights won't make a huge difference to the body. But if you're sick or if you come under the weather and your body doesn't have a chance to really, find the resources to give you that fighting chance to recover quickly, that's going to give you a much longer recovering process. And nobody wants that. Definitely nobody wants that. You want to be able to recover as quickly and as efficiently as you can so that you can get back to 100% health. Everything takes a little bit of a slowdown when you have to redirect your energy resources to getting better. And fatigue is like having a minor cold. It drains your body's ability to fully divert the energy to where it's most needed on a regular basis because it's so busy just fighting to keep, digesting, keep pumping, keep rolling. So all those extra high metabolic processes do have to take a little bit of a slowdown because there's only so much energy in the bank. So yeah, sleep is absolutely golden. It's such an easy thing to achieve from, as long as there's no insomnia or any issues actually falling asleep. Good sleep patterns are so essential. And you're looking at the biggest hypocrite here. I'm no good at maintaining a good sleep pattern because I've got small kids. They, like to take fashion of 4 a.m. wake-ups because mum doesn't need to sleep. But, if you can try your best to regularly go to sleep between sort of 10, 11 at the very latest, and then try not to sleep in too much as well, and regularly wake up at a similar time every day, no matter what you've got going on, that is so great for the brain. Our circadian rhythm, which is what controls when we're waking and when we're regenerating and when we're sleeping, and all that production of all those wonderful hormones and neurotransmitters that allows our body to regulate that way, are then tied into all the consequential processes as well. So overall health, overall support of the gut and the mind and hydration and all that sort of stuff, and omega-3s, all that general good advice is so important to the eyes, because until your whole body is healthy, your brain won't be healthy, and your eyes are just an extension of that beautiful big brain. Okay, my lovelies, I hope that today's video was informative, and welcome back as well. It's been a wonderful little break over the Passover period, but we're back now, fully fledged, with interesting topics, interesting advice, and hopefully some Tichel tutorials in the mix, as well as some midweek wrap-up advice and updates and things like that. So I'll definitely be seeing you guys regularly at the end of every weekend, and maybe sometimes during the week as well, with some interesting little topics too. If you'd like to be notified for when the next upload is up there, please hit the subscribe button and join this wonderful creative family. Leave me a comment, tell me what you'd like to hear about, if there's any suggestions or what you thought about today's topic. Thank you so much to my beautiful friend Sarah for the suggestion. I love her suggestion. She's just got the most beautiful, beautiful mind for creativity and just curiosity, and it's just beautiful. It's wonderful. For more things and regular updates, please do head over to Instagram. Definitely more active there, and there's more topics being explored over on my Instagram. Don't forget to like and share to anyone who might be interested in what this channel is all about. Wherever you are around the world, lovelies, I hope you had a wonderful Easter or Passover break, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye!